Hi friends, welcome to the ESLA class. Today we shall be starting off with eigenvalues and eigenvectors, and I shall be posting the videos corresponding to this particular concept. So how do we define a eigenvalue and eigenvector? I know that you would have supposedly studied about these eigenvalues and eigenvectors in your engineering mathematics, but it's a separate part in our ESLA chapter also, ESLA subject also. So that's why we need to study this. Questions based on this also would be asked in our examinations also, and also in internals. Now let us define eigenvalue and eigenvector. Now let me define two column vectors or column matrices x and y. So let x and y be two column vectors or column matrices, and A be a n cross n matrix or a square matrix. N cross n matrix is nothing but a square matrix. So if I define y is equal to a into x, then the matrix A transforms vector x into vector y by this equation. y1, y2, yn, column vector y1, y2, etc. till yn is equal to the square matrix whose elements are a1, a12, a13, etc. till a1n, then a21, a22, a23, etc. till a2n. Then continuing the process downwards, the last row would be consisting of elements an1, an2, an3, etc. till ann. This multiplied by another column matrix x, that is x1, x2, etc. till xn. So here the column matrix or column vector capital Y consists of the elements y1, y2, etc. till yn arranged in the form of a column. So the dimension of this column matrix is n cross 1 because it is having n rows and only one column. So that's why the column matrix is of dimensions n cross 1. Now the elements of the matrix A, which is a square matrix of dimension n cross n, is given by a11, a12, etc. till a1n. Then the second row a21, a22, etc. till a2n. Continuing the process, the last nth row elements would be an1, an2, etc. till ann. So this constitutes the elements of the square matrix A. Then the column matrix or the column vector x consists of the elements x1, x2, x3, etc. till xn arranged in the form of a single column. So the dimension of the column matrix x is also n cross 1. It's having n rows but only one column. That's why the name column vector or column matrix. So here the vector x is referred to as the eigenvector. Vector x is known as the eigenvector. It is also called the characteristic vector. There are different names for eigenvectors, please note. The vector x is called the eigenvector or characteristic vector or latent vector. Latent, L-A-T-E-N-T, latent vector. It is also called as the proper vector, P-R-O-P-E-R, proper vector. So eigenvector is called a latent vector or a characteristic vector, okay, or a proper vector. And if the eigenvector does not change the direction after matrix transformation, then it means that the magnitude of the eigenvector x is little bit different. So in that case, we can write this as ax is equal to lambda x. We can write ax is equal to lambda x. A capital X is equal to lambda into capital X. Okay, please follow one convention. Okay, a capital X is equal to lambda into capital X. Such that the x is the eigenvector, such that capital X is the eigenvector, and the value lambda corresponding to this eigenvector x is called the eigenvalue. Eigenvalue, lambda is called the eigenvalue. Eigenvalue is also called as proper value or latent value or characteristic value. Lambda, the eigenvalue is a scalar because it has got no dimension. It is having only magnitude. That's why the eigenvalue is a scalar entity, whereas the eigenvector is a vector entity because it has got both magnitudes as well as directions. While solving problems, it would become more clearer. Now, since Ax is equal to lambda x, this is the main heart and soul of the eigenvectors and eigenvalues. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors are exclusively used in control systems, advanced control systems, advanced digital signal processing, and in communication engineering, which we would be studying in advanced semesters. So Ax is equal to lambda x is the one of the most important equations which we need to remember. While solving problems also, we would be making usage of this equation. Now I can transpose this lambda x to the left hand side. So this becomes ax minus lambda x is equal to 0. Now X is common factor here. Here A is a matrix, X is a matrix, again capital X is a matrix, but lambda is a scalar. So, but I can take X to be the common factor. But from mathematics, please remember that if I am having two matrices and then a scalar multiplied by a matrix, then if I have to take the common factor from the system of homogeneous equations, which we would have studied in engineering maths 1, maths 2, it follows that if I want to take x as the common factor on the left hand side of this equation, then I should write as a minus lambda I into x is equal to 0. You may ask, sir, why is this I? Because I into x is x itself. What is this I here? I is a identity matrix or unity matrix of n dimensions. A identity matrix or unity matrix is a matrix that consists of 1, or that consists of value 1 along its principal diagonal. Let me write it and show it. It will become much more clearer. So I is a n dimensional matrix. 1, 0, 0, etc. up till 0. Next, the identity matrix consists of only one element along its principal diagonal. All other elements are zeros. So this procedure continues. Okay. So identity matrix I is equal to I subscript n or I subscript n or I n. So this consists of along the principal diagonal, right? Along the principal diagonal, it consists of elements which are equal to 1. All other elements are zeros. So only along this is the principal diagonal, this is the secondary diagonal. So along the principal diagonal, it has elements of 1. Along the principal diagonal, it has elements of 1. Along principal diagonal elements, it has elements of 1. So that's why if I multiply any element, any matrix with the identity matrix, I get the same matrix itself. Let me write that also. So if I multiply I into x or x into I get x itself. So multiply any number, multiply any matrix with identity matrix. So I into x is equal to x into I is equal to x itself. So I get the same element. So that's why while taking the common factor here, I should, and that is since scalar is here, so this I comes here, or I can write this as, to be much more clearer, I can write this as ax minus lambda into I into x is equal to 0. Okay, because use this concept, I into x is equal to x, x into I is equal to x. So since you may ask, sir, why should I write only for lambda x is equal to lambda ix? Because lambda is a scalar. So if I want to, and that is multiplied by a matrix, that is multiplied by a matrix. So that's why if I want to take x to be the common factor, then I should have a identity matrix here. I cannot take a minus lambda into x is equal to 0. I cannot write, because a is a matrix, x is a matrix, x is a matrix, lambda is a scalar. So if I take a minus lambda into x is equal to 0, it would be very, very wrong, because here we are taking common factor with respect to matrices and scalars in combination, in tandem. ಎರಡು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು a minus lambda into x is equal to 0 ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪು, right? So that's why, since I am having a scalar which is multiplied to a matrix, so that's why I can write x as I into x or x into I, which is equal to x. So that's why I should write x to be equal to ix. So I can write this as ax minus lambda I into x is equal to 0, or I have a minus lambda I into x is equal to 0. A minus lambda I into x is equal to 0. This follows from the theory of homogeneous equations. I hope it is clearer to you. Now, if X belongs to KER, this is called the kernel. This is called, let me write it here, sorry. So here K is called kernel. You don't worry about this kernel too much. In advanced mathematical analysis, these things comes. Okay, where suppose if X belongs to kernel of A minus lambda I, where X is a non-zero vector. Kernel means suppose X belongs to all the elements of the matrix A minus lambda I. It should belong, right? So that assumption we make. If X belongs to all the elements of A minus lambda I, so that is called as KER, kernel of A minus lambda I. Then from linear theory, linear system of equations, we know that such system of homogeneous equations will have a non-zero solution only if determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0. This symbol mod of A minus lambda I is equal to 0 is nothing but determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0. This I can also write it as determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0. These two symbols are one and the same. So from linear system of equations, especially Cramer's rule, if you remember, this system of homogeneous equations will have non-zero solution only if determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0. That is, A minus, let me repeat, this system of homogeneous equations will have non-zero solution. Non-zero solution only if determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0 or det of A minus lambda is equal to 0. That is, A minus lambda I should be singular. That is, A minus lambda I should be singular. Okay. Now this A minus lambda I is a singular matrix. In that case, the determinant of A minus lambda I is equal to 0 is called the characteristic equation. The determinant A minus lambda is equal to 0 is called the characteristic equation, and determinant of A minus lambda I is called the characteristic polynomial. Very, very important concept. Determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0 is called the characteristic equation, and determinant of A minus lambda I is called the characteristic polynomial. So for determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0, we calculate different values of lambda, and these different values of lambda are called the eigenvalues. And corresponding to these eigenvalues, I shall be calculating different eigenvectors, which are denoted by capital X. If I solve determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0, that is, if I solve this characteristic equation, it is called a characteristic equation only if I equate this to 0. If I do not equate this equation to 0, it is just called the characteristic polynomial. So if I solve the characteristic equation, I get some roots. So the roots in terms of lambda. So the roots of the characteristic equation are called the eigenvalues or the characteristic values. The roots of the eigenvalues are called the roots of the characteristic polynomial. The roots of the characteristic equation. Let me repeat. The roots of the characteristic equation is called the eigenvalue. The roots of the characteristic equation, determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0, is called the eigenvalue. Then equation solve ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0 solve ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ lambda values ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So these lambdas are called the eigenvalues, and the vectors that are associated with each and every lambda are called the eigenvectors X. Okay, the roots of the characteristic equation which I get for lambda are called the eigenvalues or proper values or latent roots of the characteristic values of the of the characteristic equation, and corresponding to these eigenvalues I get eigenvectors. So for each eigenvalue I have got Ax is equal to lambda x. Now if I transpose lambda x to the left hand side and using the concept that I discussed earlier, so if I solve for A minus lambda I into x is equal to 0, then if I solve for x I get the eigenvectors. There are eigenvalues and eigenvectors have got many fantastic properties that are exclusively used in signal processing, right? Our image processing is also entirely based upon this. Our mobiles are operating because of eigenvalues. Okay, so this is the concept of the eigenvalue and eigenvector definition. Talking about some of the definitions and some of the principles of operation. So eigenvalues of a upper triangular matrix are its principal diagonal entries, right? And eigenvalues of a lower triangular matrix are again its principal diagonal matrix entries. Eigenvalue of a diagonal matrix are its again principal diagonal entries. I mean to say, the eigenvalues of a upper triangular matrix, lower triangular matrix, and a diagonal matrix are given by the principal diagonal elements. That's all. Okay. And the main heart and soul of the eigenvalue and eigenvector computation is Ax is equal to lambda x. So most vectors will change the direction after matrix multiplication. So those vectors are not eigenvectors, and for those vectors Ax naught is not exactly equal to lambda x. So that is one of the most important concepts that we use in advanced signal processing. Signal processing you would be studying in 5th semester. So I shall be talking only what is required from our subject point of view. Now suppose I have a matrix A. I have a 3 cross 3 matrix whose elements are A11, A12, A13, then A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Then the characteristic equation of this is given by determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0. So if this is a cubic equation, if I solve it, I get something of the form like this: lambda cubed. This is a general expansion I am writing. Lambda cubed minus S1 lambda squared plus S2 lambda minus determinant of A is equal to 0. I get lambda cubed minus S1 lambda squared plus S2 lambda minus determinant of A is equal to 0. My question is, what are these S1, what are these S2s? That we shall see now. S1 is the trace of A. The trace of a matrix is obtained by calculating the sum of its principal diagonal elements. The trace of a matrix is simply obtained by calculating the sum of its principal diagonal elements. So here the principal diagonal elements of a 3 cross 3 matrix under consideration here is A11, A22 and A33. So add these three principal diagonal elements. So A11 plus A22 plus A33. So that is given by trace. So that's what we have written here. The sum of the diagonal elements, but carefully listen, its principal diagonal elements, because I also have the secondary diagonal here, which is very rarely used. So always I utter the word principal diagonal elements. The sum of the principal diagonal elements of a square matrix gives me the trace of the matrix, and the trace of the matrix is also equal to the sum of its eigenvalues. Also very important property, which I shall be proving in the coming videos. It's one of the exercise problems in your prescribed book, Gilbert's triangle, also, that I shall be proving. Okay. Now S1 is equal to trace of A, which is given by the sum of the diagonal elements, principal diagonal elements. Now S2 is nothing but the sum of minors of diagonal elements of A. I hope you would be knowing this. So what are the diagonal, what do you mean by the minors of the diagonal elements? Now I have got let me consider the first principal diagonal element A11, A11. Okay. S2 is defined as the sum of the minors of diagonal elements of A. So minors means its minor matrix. Okay. Now let me consider the matrix A11. Now A11 is located in A11 corresponds to the first row and first column element, isn't it? A11 corresponds to the first row and first column element of matrix A. Now with delete the row and delete the corresponding column where A11 is located, and consider the matrix that is lying beneath it. ಇವಾಗ A11 ಇದೆ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. So A11 corresponds to the first row and first column element. Now delete the first row and the first column element now. So consider the matrix that is beneath the deletion that is beneath after deleting the first row and the first column corresponding to A11. So the matrix that is existing After deleting the first row and the first column corresponding to A11 is A22, A23, A32, A33 ತಾನೆ. A11 ಇದೆ. So A11 corresponding to first row and first column. So delete first row and first column now. So ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ A22, A23, A32, A33. So that is called the minor. So A22, A13. Sorry, this is A22, A23, A32, A33. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಮಹಾನ್ ಭಾವ. ಇದು where is it? This is A23. ಇಲ್ಲಿ A13 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ತಪ್ಪದು. It is A33. A22, A23, A32, A33. Okay, next, let me consider the following next second principal diagonal element A22. So I have A11, A20, A12, A13, A21, A31, A33 I have. Now my question is to how to obtain the minor element corresponding to A22, because now I need to find the minor corresponding to the second principal diagonal element. Now where A22 is there, A22 corresponds to the second row and second column element. A22 corresponds to the second row, second column element. So now delete the second row and the second column corresponding to A22. Delete the second row and the second column corresponding to A22. Now the new matrix, which is the minor of A22, would be corresponding to the other elements which are not deleted. Right? A11, A13, A31, A33 is the minor corresponding to A22 element. I have deleted A22 andre I have to calculate the minor of A22. First see that A22 is the second row, second column element of matrix A. Now delete the second row and the second column element corresponding to A22. ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬಾಕಿ ಉಳಿಯೋ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವು? A11, A13, A31, A33. So this is A11, so A33, A31, A33. So this is the minor of A22, which is what is written here. A11, A13, A31, A33 is the minor of A22. So that's what I have written here. A11, A13, A31, A33. ಅದೇ ತಾನೇ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿರೋದು. A11, this is A11, A13, A31, A33. This is how we calculate. Now let me calculate the minor of the third principal diagonal element. So A33 is the element corresponding to third row and third column, isn't it? A33 is the element corresponding to third row and third column. So delete the third row and the third column. ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ನಲ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವ ರೋ ಯಾವ ಕಾಲಮ್ಗೆ correspond ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ರೋ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ರೋ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ನ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ corresponding ಮೈನರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ corresponding ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ that would be the minor of the corresponding principal diagonal element. Now A33 is the third row and the third column element of matrix A. Delete the third row and the third column. Now the elements A11, A12, A21, A22 would be the corresponding minor of A33. I showed for A22. Similarly, you have to apply for all other things. A11, A12, A21, A22. So this is what I have written. A11, A12, A21, A22 is the principal diagonal elements. Okay, this is how we calculate the corresponding minors. You how to calculate the determinant, that you know. So determinant of this is simply given by A11 into A22 minus A33, A22 into A30. Let me repeat, the determinant of A is simply given by A11 into A22 A33 minus A32 A23 as written here, minus A12 into A21 A33 minus A31 A23 plus A13 into A21 A32 minus A31 A22. So how do I obtain this? That let me explain. So this is the formula that we have written for the 3x3 determinant formula. But how to write it? A is equal to, first consider the first element of the matrix A in order to find its determinant. So it would be A11. So now A11, now delete A11, write down A11. Where is it? Write down A11. Now delete the first row and the first columns corresponding to it. Now the matrix that is beneath the deletion are the elements that are not included in the deletion, you include. So this would be, so this is given by so A11, first row and first column corresponding to A11 I have deleted. Now A11 into A22, the arrange the elements that are not under deletion corresponding to A11. So this would be A22, A23, A32, A33. Okay, now next minus comes. Minus the second element of the first row, minus the second element of the first row. So minus A12. Now minus A12. So A12, A12. So A12 corresponds to the first row and the second column element, right? It corresponds to the first row and the second column element of matrix A. So delete the first row and the second column element of matrix A. So if I delete, then the other elements which are not under deletion corresponding to A12, arrange it in the form of a matrix. Arrange it in the form of another 2x2 determinant, 2x2 determinant. So A21, A23 I have. A31, A33 I have. Plus hello, yeah. Next, consider the third element of the first row of matrix A. So A13. So write down A13 here. So plus I had, so minus I had here. So here plus. So plus A13. So A13 is nothing but the first row and the third column element of matrix A. Isn't it? The A13, 13 means first row, third column. A12 means first row, second column. A11 means first row, first column. So write down that particular entry here, A13. So write down that particular entry here. Now obtain the determinant corresponding to A13. So A13 corresponds to first row and third column of the matrix A. So delete the first row, delete the third column, and arrange the other elements in the form of a determinant, 2 cross 2 determinant. So I have arranged the matrix, arrange the elements that are not under the deletion corresponding to A13. Okay. So this would be A21, A22, A31 into A32. This is A32. So this is what we have written here. Now I want to write the determinant of A. Due to lack of space, I shall write it here. I shall write it above. So determinant of A. So A11. What is the value of a 2 cross 2 determinant? A22. The determinant of this 2 cross 2 determinant is simply given by A22 A33 minus A32 A23, or A22 A33 minus A23 A32. So this can be written as A11 into A22 A33 minus A23 A32 minus A12 into A21 A33 this is A33 A33 minus A23 31 plus A13 into A21 A32 minus A31 into A22. So this is the value of the determinant of this matrix. So determinant A is simply given by A11 into A22 A33 minus A23 A33 A22 into A33 minus A23 into A32, sorry, A32, let me write it properly. This is A32. This is A32. Let me write it properly. A32 minus A12 into A21, A33 minus A31 into A23, which I have written here, plus A13 into A21, A32 minus A31 into A22. Okay, very, very important formula which we would be making use of. I shall be deleting this, but in the video it would be there for you. Any doubts, please feel free to get back to me. So that's what we have. So lambda cubed, I have that expansion of the determinant is written here. So for a 3 cross 3 matrix, the characteristic equation is simply given by lambda cubed is equal to the characteristic equation is simply given by lambda cubed minus s1 lambda squared plus s2 lambda minus determinant of A. The characteristic equation for the 3 cross 3 matrix A considered here is simply given by lambda cubed minus s1 lambda squared plus s2 lambda minus determinant of A. I was talking about how to evaluate this determinant here, for which I had written all the things and expanded it to you. So this is the value of the determinant which I had written. The value of the determinant that has been printed here and what I wrote are one and the same for a 3 cross 3 matrix. Now for a 2 cross 2 matrix, how it would be? This is a very, very simple case. If A is equal to A11, A12, A21, A22, then the characteristic equation is simply given by determinant of A minus lambda is equal to 0. So we get, solving this, we get, here also solving only we get, solving this we directly get lambda squared minus s1 lambda plus determinant A is equal to 0. Lambda squared minus s1 lambda plus A is equal to 0. So what is this S1? S1 is the trace of the matrix A. Here it is 2 cross 2. So the sum of the principal diagonal elements is nothing but the trace. So A11 and A22 are the principal diagonal elements. So A11 plus A22 gives me the trace which is equal to S1 as given here. Determinant A is simply given by A11 A22 minus A21 A12 for a 2 cross 2 matrix. Okay, so this is the, and please note the methods, the things that are outlined in section 1 and section 2 here are the shortcut methods for calculating the characteristic equation and hence the eigenvalues and eigenvectors for a 3 cross 3 and 2 cross 2 matrices respectively, right? Without having to solve for the multiplication, right? This is the shortcut formula. This lambda cube minus s1 lambda squared plus s2 lambda minus determinant A is equal to 0. This is a shortcut method for writing the characteristic equation of a 3 cross 3 matrix. And this lambda squared minus s1 lambda plus determinant A is equal to 0 is a shortcut method for finding the characteristic equation of a 2 cross 2 matrix. Otherwise, we need to do lots of multiplications. Around 5-10 minutes are wasted on that. So for reducing the labor associated with that, so direct shortcut methods, shortcut formulae are presented here. In the next lecture, we shall discuss how to compute the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of matrices and other such stuffs. Thank you very much.